Most folks just don't know what I'm about to show you, and that's how you're gonna get ahead of 99% of these other fools.
Joining us is my man, Kelvin Nye.
Obvious that he's an expert at what he does.
Listen, I've spoken on dozens of stages in my career at this point, and I can tell you that on any one of those stages, I could easily walk into the room and say, how many of you here want to be wealthy? And every hand in the room would inevitably go up. But then if I ask how many of you here are wealthy, 99% of those hands are going to go down. We all know that only 1% of people ever creates real financial independence. Likewise, ask just about anyone and they'd say, sure, I'd love to be fit, in shape, and live a long, healthy life. And yet we know that only a small fraction of people actually do. Why is this? Is it because we don't know what to do? Well, not really. We all know that if we want to build wealth, then we need to spend less than we earn, save the difference, and invest it for long-term retirement. We all know that in order to live a long, healthy, happy life, we need to eat right and exercise. See, it's not that we don't know what to do, it's that we don't do what we know we should do. And quite frankly, 99.9% of people are going to end up failing because they get trapped by things like procrastination, hesitation, self-sabotage, imposter syndrome, and a host of other things that tend to steal our goals and dreams. But not you though, because here in a moment, I'm going to break down what causes this. And understanding this one thing will give you the advantage of 99% of the other folks out there. You see, this question around human behavior, why don't we do the things that we know that we need to do, has actually already been answered by a field of study known as axiology. And let me be clear, everything I'm about to break down for you on this whiteboard, I actually learned from somebody far more intelligent than me. His name is Dr. John Demartini. And through the lens of axiology, we can observe that every human being has a hierarchy of values, the things that we value most in life down to the things that we potentially don't value at all. And stick with me through the end of this video here, because this single concept right here is the biggest breakthrough that helped me go from working in a coffee shop for minimum wage to now earning over $100 million in my online business. When I'm talking about values here, I'm not talking about things like, integrity, respect, honesty, fairness. No, those are social ideals. That's when society tells us how we ought to live our life. What I'm talking about here is the fact that every day that you and I wake up, there's the things that we value most in our life to the things that we potentially don't value at all. Let me give you an example. On this side, let's say that we have a woman who wakes up in the morning and the first thing that she starts thinking about is her fitness. She starts thinking about, hitting the gym, making sure that she has all of her meals planned, staying inside of her macros, and maybe even prepping her meals to ensure that she stays within her dietary restrictions. Well, if she is thinking about those things first thing in the morning when she wakes up, we can probably assume that she has a high value on her fitness. On this other side, let's say that we have a mom who, when she wakes up in the morning, the first thing that she starts to think about is the kids' education, the kids' after-school programs, the kids' grades, the kids' tutoring, the kids' sporting events, and all these sorts of things. Well, if she's thinking about that in the morning, we know that she probably has a very high value on those children. Now, the reason that this is important is because our values dictate how we utilize our resources. Our primary resources are time, energy, and money. As an example, famed management guru Peter Drucker once said, "Tell me what you value in life and I might believe you, but show me your bank account and your calendar and I'll tell you what you truly value." And you see, the reason that he says that is because every day that you and I wake up, we have a finite amount of time, energy, and money that we can invest throughout our day. And that time, energy, and money is going to be invested in direct proportion to our values. So this woman on one side, she's going to spend the majority of her time, energy, and money throughout her day and throughout her life, at this point at least, focused on making sure that she stays inside of her meal plan, that she hits the gym, that she's working out all of the proper muscle groups, that she is staying well within her dietary restrictions and these sorts of things. While the woman on the other side, her time, energy, and money is easily being invested in raising the kids and maybe taking care of a job. Now, what's interesting to understand here is that the woman on this side, let's say that she constantly talks about wanting to find a spouse and eventually get married, except no time, energy, and money ever really makes it to that activity. In other words, she runs out of resources long before she invests enough of it into going out, dating, meeting new people, and eventually finding love. While the mom on the other side, who always says that she would love to have her own business, she keeps running out of time, energy, and money long before she invests enough of it to have that thriving business. What happens is most people tend to set goals that are in conflict with their values. And when we set goals that are in conflict with our values, we experience things like procrastination, hesitation, frustration, self-sabotage, overwhelm, imposter syndrome, and a host of other things that creep up and steal our goals and dreams from us throughout our life. In fact, this is what's causing 99% of people to fail, is that instead of them setting goals that are in alignment with their values or adjusting their values to align with their goals, instead what they're doing is they are projecting other people's values on themselves, whether that's society, the media, friends, family, institutions, or what have you. In other words, when we project other people's values on ourselves, then we are aspiring to try to live up to someone else's set of values. And then we inevitably end up failing because it is inauthentic to ourselves. And even worse, as a result of failure, we go on to undermine ourselves, ridicule ourselves, put ourselves down, destroy our self-esteem, calling ourselves things like a failure or a fool or whatever it is. And that's not true at all. The truth is that we were attempting to live a lie. In other words, we beat ourselves up for who we're not rather than loving ourselves for who we are. And when we love ourselves for who we are, we unlock the opportunity to become whoever we'd love to be. The point of this message here is to understand that every human being has a hierarchy of values. And if you find yourself running into procrastination, hesitation, frustration, self-sabotage, overwhelm, and a host of other things that have kept you from achieving your goals in life, like 99% of other folks, well then chances are that you've set goals that are in conflict with your values. Have you ever said to yourself, I feel like I'm out of alignment? Well, that's typically what we experience when our day-to-day activity is not in alignment with what we truly value in life. Have you ever asked yourself, well, how do I experience more fulfillment? Well, fulfillment comes from filling full our values, living by our highest values. Now, here's the good news. At any given point, we can either adjust our goals to match our values, or we can adjust our values to match our goals. And what I did when I discovered this concept is I realized that even though for over a decade I had said that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, my values just didn't reflect that. And so I did the work of shifting my values to begin matching my goals. And if you want to know how to do that, then make sure that you watch the next video in the lineup. So listen, I hope you got value out of this video, my friend. And if you want more content like this to help you create more success in your life and your business, then make sure that you subscribe and hit that little bell notification so you get notified every week when I drop more content like this. And by the way, in case we've never met, my name is Kiala Kanai. I'm an entrepreneur that went from working in a coffee shop to now doing over $100 million in sales with my online business and growing. And I only say that so that you know that everything I share on my channel comes from the real world applied knowledge of things that I've learned and executed that have helped me create those results. And I share them here in hopes that they help you create similar results as well. So subscribe, hit that little bell notification. And if you want to learn more about this, watch this next video in the lineup so you can begin to change your values.